So this video is on adding fractions. When you watch this video, there's just three practice problems on adding fractions and mixed numbers. They are both positive. I need to make sure that you all know how to add positive fractions before we start getting into negative fractions, which is oh so much fun. So it's a short video. Make sure that you know how to add fractions. Again, just like the other practice problem videos, if you want to pause the video, fast forward to the answer, check your answer with the video answer, then it can limit the amount of video that you actually have to watch. That's fine. So enjoy.
So you can simplify adding fraction problems by finding a common denominator. You can either do it horizontally or you can write it vertically. That's completely your choice. What you're going to do is you're going to find a common multiple, preferably the least common multiple, of the denominator. So in this case, the denominators are 4 and 3. The least common multiple in this case is 12. So I'm going to use 12 as my common denominator. Remember that least common multiple is the smallest number that both 3 and 4 go into. Once I've figured out that 12 is my common denominator, I'm going to say how many times does 4 go into 12, or what do I multiply 4 by to get 12, and that's going to be 3. So I'm going to multiply the numerator by 3, and I'm going to get 9. So all I've done is create an equivalent fraction to 3/4. So if I cut a pizza into 4 slices, or I cut that same pizza into 12 slices, 3 of the 4 slices would be the same as 9 of the 12 slices. That would be the same amount of pizza. So to get from 3 to 12, I multiply by 4, so I have to multiply 1 by 4. I get 4/12. Now since I have common denominators of 12, I'm comparing apples to apples, so I can add 9/12 and 4/12. I add 9 and 4 and I get 13. 13/12. Well, that's wonderful, except 13, the numerator, is larger than 12, the denominator, so you have more than one whole. So you say 12 goes into 13 one time with 1 left over. So that one has to do with the one whole that's created by 12/12, and then the 1/12 is the one remaining that's left over. So I've moved on to a mixed number problem. I'm going to rewrite the whole numbers because they're not going to play a part until the end. And I'm going to say my common denominator of 5 and 10. Well, I'm going to use 10 because that's the least common multiple. If you want to go ahead and use 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or any other common multiple, go right ahead. You're just going to create larger numbers for yourself. So I'm going to use 10. I'm going to say, what do I multiply 5 by to get 10? That would be 2. So I multiply the numerator by 2, which means that 1 4/5 is equal to 1 8/10. Well, what do I multiply 10 by? Well, that's 1. 10 times 1 is 10, so I just rewrite that. And I get to a place where now my denominators are in tenths, so I'm going to add 8 and 1 and get 9. My denominator is going to stay the same, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So therefore, 2 and 9/10 is my answer. If it happened to be something that I could reduce, I would make sure to reduce my answer before I wrote it on the line as my final answer. In this case, 5 and 6, okay, well, my least common multiple for those two is 30. So I'm going to be creating some larger numbers. I'm going to rewrite my whole numbers. I'm going to say 5 times what is 30? That would be 6. So then I multiply 3 by 6 and I get 18. 6 times what is 30? That would be 5. So I'm going to multiply by 5. I'm going to get 25. I'm going to add 18 and 25, and I'm going to get 43 30ths, and then 2 and 6 is 8. So 8 and 43 30ths is completely unsimplified, as there is still one whole remaining in 43 30ths. So if I said, okay, 43 30ths, that would be 1 and a remainder of 13 30ths. So I have 1 and 13 30ths, and I already have 8 whole there, so 8 plus 1 is 9. I have 9 and 13 30ths. If this reducing part is confusing for you, then just give me the heads up and I'll make a completely different video on how to reduce, how to simplify. But from what I've seen, that does not seem to be a problem. But if you personally have one, just come talk to me. I'll throw it up on YouTube, no problem.